And we wrote a big story with all the declassified examples of the feds and the states doing this. We've got to have people at every event who basically stake out these events to surveil the people who are surveilling, or counterintelligence. Because if we just expose the police and the feds a few more times and start demanding some jail time, because it's criminal to try to go out either with provocateurs or with feds themselves or agents themselves and try to get people to commit crimes, that is a crime. That is not just entrapment. That is criminal. Representative Guest, I mean, it's one thing to ask somebody, hey, you want to buy some drugs? And you know, courts have said that's bad, but not really illegal. But to go out and try to get people to commit crimes and try to lead people into crimes at political events so you can crack down on free speech, this is high treason.
It is. And I was just looking at my notes here that what Tony was talking about here, that when Sissy testified, she brought up the point that in the Department of Justice training manual, they call protesters low-level terrorists. So basically, they are anybody that protests anything out there, as we've said all along, goes on the list of...
See, that's my point. 2 weeks ago, it came out that the Justice Department in a document says all protest is low-level terrorism. That's an actual quote that they're teaching police, military, and feds. And people who accuse us of exaggerating how bad it is, how much worse does it get? It's worse than we even remember. In fact, guys, you can Google that, protesting low-level terror, or startpage.com, that, another great search engine, and pull that up for people, because folks need to see this for themselves. Go ahead.
My point was, I think I asked her, I said, all these people protesting these rallies, the National Health Care Plan, are they being classified as low-level terrorists? Basically, it's getting to the point, anybody who talks against the federal government or who protests or voices their displeasure in it are being classified as a terrorist or a threat to this nation or a threat to their government. And that's absolutely false. You know, we're supposed to have a country that was based upon the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression without having any retribution taken against you. But that's not the case. We're being classified as a potential threat.
Absolutely. Tony, as a reporter at these events, continue with the provocateur angle or any other key tidbits you'd like to relay to folks.
Well, if you don't mind, could I tag on to what Mr. Guest was saying about...
Yeah, whatever you want, sir. Say whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah, it all, really picked up steam back after 9/11 when Bush said you're either with us or you're with the terrorists. And from then on, they kind of had an exclusive deal with public opinion, and anybody who said anything outside of that was with the terrorists. And then now, unfortunately, President Obama has taken the hand off from Bush, and now anybody that's against their policies, are racist or otherwise. So, but it's starting to backfire. That that's the point is people can see how bad these hit pieces are. And then they go and look otherwise. So I think it's kind of blowing up in their face.
One thing that we're not getting was I was hoping these hearings would get more. Obviously, Alex, you're doing a great job here, but some of our local news media are not picking up on this. And I guess that's probably not too surprising that they don't want to put too much visibility on what we're doing here in the investigation and the testimony is taking place. But I was hoping we would see more media, TV coverage, even newsprint coverage of these hearings that's going on. But it seems on whether they're told to cover it up and not make it public or not. But certainly I and others that believe in the threat that's here are going to make it public as much as we can.
Yes, sir, we appreciate you. And, Tony, there's a reason. In fact, there's the article. DOD training manual describes protest as low-level terrorism. We have a link to it, and the ACLU's also got a link to it covering it. So, yes, it's real. Protesting is an act of terror because we have terrorists running our country. But, of course, these are secret. It's secret they've turned the police into secret police. It's secret they're all reporting back to the feds. It's secret that they're saying gun owners and veterans are the #1 threat. And they don't want us to know that Homeland Security and Northcom is for us. The feds are controlled by the offshore banks, period. They're fraudulently taking us into receivership. And if we're aware of the fraud they're perpetrating, they won't be able to get away with it. So it is essential that we expose this is going on not just in the U.S. but worldwide, and that this entire police state's been set up for us. And the good news is police and military are really waking up. They're very upset about what's happening. And but this lets us know who the federal government is. It lets us know that it's being run by very anti-American tyrants who really want to turn America into the Soviet Union.
Mr. Jones, may I chime in about the media coverage?
Yeah.
I believe I was pretty much it. I mean, I showed up, and some of my family said, well, do you think any of the media will be there? And, I said, well, there should be maybe a camera or two, and I show up, and I drove past the building because I didn't see any hoopla, and then it turns out that I was at the right place. I go in there, I watch the hearings, I go home, do the report, and then when I wake up in the morning, I see a couple letters in my email box wanting to know more information about the hearing because I was the only one that wrote an article about it. And that's, the majority of the public fits in the categories of that report. And the only reason I went, I wanted to go to these hearings, but I didn't know when they were. But thankfully, you guys posted it on your InfoWars website on last week. So, I was able to go and, took a vacation day from my 9-to-5 job, went out there, covered it, and I'm glad to get the word out.
Well, good job, sir, and we'll continue to watch the reports you're doing, and feel free, you write great reports to file reports for Infowars.com. Just send those into writers at Infowars.com if you want us to publish your fine work. And the Representative Guest, as this continues, we'll keep checking in with you. But, this isn't just a report demonizing patriots. This is about the federalization of police. Representative Charles Key, of course, of Oklahoma, and others that I've had on from Oklahoma, when they just try to have state sovereignty declaration, or when they say they're going to follow the Bill of Rights, the state police, the local police show up and change the subject and say, don't you want to stop bank robberies? We've got to spy on your neighbors. They always change the subject. They have already been federalized. Most of the police chiefs are CIA or FBI. That's on record. And so we have to understand that we need to start removing these police chiefs and sheriffs and other people that are singing to the wrong sheet of music. We're the people. We run this country, and we're tired of the banking cartel coming in with a corporate takeover. And so when you've got the police trying to come in and muscle the state representatives, that's called treason.
That's pretty heavy-handed. And for the next hearing is going to be on September 9th in the southwest corner of the state of Missouri. It's going to be at Springfield. Don't have the exact location. We had people who drove from Oklahoma to testify here in Kansas City. So if people want to become a part of it and provide their testimony, that'll be their next in that part of the country.
Absolutely. And call all the newspapers all over the country and say, why aren't you covering the secret police and the federalization? And the fact that the federal marshals say they're ordered to put innocent people in the databases under quotas. And there's no judge, no jury. Now they say no fly, you won't be able to buy a gun. This is all, we're all being put on list, folks. And if we let them have a chilling effect and shut us down and cower us into shutting up, they win. That's why they're coming out and saying to criticize government is now racism. To say you don't want socialism is racism. In fact, I saw a new clip on the Alex Jones channel this morning on YouTube of Chris Matthews saying that if you criticize all the White House servants, you're racist. If you criticize big government, you're racist. They're using this as psychological weapon to say, don't you criticize big government, racist, thinking they can use white guilt to make you go, well, okay, I don't want to be called a racist. Hey, I think I like strawberry ice cream, not vanilla. That's racist. I think I like black shirts, not white shirts. That's racist. I think I like the swimming pool at 85 degrees, not 75. Racist. I like blue skies. Racist. I like to breathe air. Racist. Basically, you have no thoughts. Just the high priest of mind control and political correctness just say, shut up, do what we say, or we'll call you racist. Representative Guest, And, of course, the writer also. We appreciate both of you for joining us. God bless you and take care.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
Thank you. Take care.
You bet. Take care, gentlemen. We'll be right back with Psychology Today's hit piece, On Me. Stay with us.